Hi! Hello, it's Rhiannon. It's me. Do not adjust the color on your screen. I changed my hair. I was Scully for Halloween. I know I've been gone forever, but here I am. I couldn't go a full calendar year without uploading a video. Something about being trapped in my teenage bedroom really makes me want to vlog. I haven't made a video in a while because I was working on my senior thesis for UCLA, which was a big collection of poems called Computer Room. It was all about the internet and intimacy and our relationship to technology and the history of all of that. And it's called Computer Room because a computer room was something that I had growing up where the computer of the house, like the giant Mac desktop, was, stuck in one room, which was like my mom's office or the media lab at school or whatever. And it didn't move, and everything that the computer represented in terms of the internet and the whole wide world was contained to that room. And the computer room doesn't exist anymore as a concept because the computer is everywhere, makes you think. It's actually really funny because for most of my junior year and all of my senior year, I was in my bedroom. I really hunkered down. I was reading and writing. I pretty much only left for class or work, and I knew that my thesis was due in March, and in February I was like, it's okay, Rhi, it's due in just a couple weeks. As soon as this is turned in, it's no matter what, it's gonna be fine. You're gonna go to bars with your friends, you're gonna have a fancy dinner, you're gonna go to the movies, and the joke is that I live in America. Computer Room is not fully published anywhere yet, although a few poems are available to read online with some pretty cool online mags, so I will link to those below. I had to present my thesis virtually because of the virus, so I might upload that video. It's pretty cute. So I mostly wasn't making videos because I was focused on writing. For the last 3 years, I've been switching between 2 different manuscripts, either working on my thesis, Computer Room, or my other manuscript, grocery list poems, which is what I'm here to talk to you about today. I'm not used to talking about grocery list poems, like outside of my own head, but I've been working on it so long, and it's really exciting. This feels like my actual first book. I'm so proud of these poems. It feels like a really personal, tender thing. I feel like I'm coming into my own as like a young woman writing, and I'm really excited to share and talk about it, finally with people. I haven't talked about it because I'm superstitious, but, and I was still working on it, but yeah, it comes out June 2021. It is now available for pre-order, and it was really nice to work on Computer Room and grocery list poems, on these 2 huge projects in tandem. They really balanced each other out. So Computer Room is very hard, it's very cynical and a bit mean. It's very like historically focused, whereas grocery list poems is working with a completely different voice, different aesthetic. It's very soft, very floral, very weepy. It's a very dreamy book. I intend it to be something that you can read before bed, just to have like a nice last little thought before you go to sleep. I remember talking about this with Cassidy Trier, who illustrated the beautiful, beautiful cover. Just saying that like I want this book to look good on someone's bedside. Like I want it to, be a real piece of art that you can have in your bedroom, have in that intimate space. And she did such an amazing job on it. I mean, like she made a couple different covers for it, but as soon as I saw the orange and the sky, I gasped aloud. I was like, that's it. There's no other possible cover. I keep saying that it's going to be a happy book, that I wrote these poems on purpose to be like soft and tender and like a little joyful and grateful. But I just read through all of the poems again, and it's actually still quite sad. So hit that pre-order. I really hope that by the time Grocery List Poems is out, we can gather in person together at bookstores and cafes. I really, really miss going to poetry readings and being part of poetry readings and being in the same room as people and just like hearing the acoustics of literature and conversation and all of that. And this book is especially one that like I want to read aloud to people in person. I taught some writing workshops earlier in Quar, and it was so nice to see everybody's faces and to talk about poems with you. And it also felt really reaffirming as a writer to know that the people who follow my work and read my work can talk about poems so thoughtfully. I feel really good putting this very emotional book out, that's also doing its own little things with form and sonnets and whatever. I feel really good putting this book out knowing that it will be received and understood so graciously and can also hopefully be useful to its readers. I'm just so happy to be talking about grocery list poems. I have been quiet about this for so long, and I have so many beautiful things planned for it, and I'm really excited to share it with you. Some other fun updates that came from this year. I have a column on art and the internet in The Believer. It's called Windowside, and I'm always looking for new gorgeous things to write about. So if you're working on a gorgeous thing or you see a gorgeous thing that the whole world needs to know about, please feel free to email me anytime. I also had the delight of editing Sweetdark by Savannah Brown, her new poetry collection. It is so lucid and existential and gentle, and you know, because I was the editor, I read it like 6 to 8 times to really get inside, and her language is such a fun place to be and explore that you can read it 6 to 8 times and always come away with something new. So I highly recommend that. These are some other poetry books that were really close to me this year. Hours Inside Out by Isabella Preisz. Tell Me by addonizio. I'll list all these in the description. Bound by Schwartz. Words Under the Words by Naomi Shihab. This one is a collection of a lot of her poems from previous books, so you get a real look at her life and writing. Catalog of Unabashed Gratitude by Ross Gay, and Loose Woman by Sandra Cisneros. So these are my friends. There's a couple poems from Grocery List Poems that are now out in the world. I got to write a response piece to Miranda July's new film Kajillionaire, which is fantastic and creepy and intimate. It's like a late capitalist folktale. Another one of my poems was made into this really beautiful short film by Jillian Barnes, and I can't even describe how I felt the first time watching it, because the poem is describing this young memory of mine, and then to see it brought to life in such a way, it was a lot. The editing's great. I've been so stuck in my head and stuck in my bedroom and just plastering the walls with poem ideas and photographs the last couple years, trying to make my thesis and also Grocery List Poems, trying to bring both of them in the world and put them together, and it's so wild and beautiful seeing them, bits of them actually out in the world and seeing other people respond to them, and it makes me feel really good, because my focus for the last few years has been to take absolutely all the time that I need on a project before showing it to anybody. Grocery List Poems was originally going to come out in June 2019 and then June 2020, which I'm really glad it didn't. I kept pushing myself to reach these weird deadlines, and then I just hit it one day. I was like, why rush? Why push myself? Why put something out half-baked? Before it's completely done and frosted. For me, writer's block is a thinking block. When I'm stuck on a draft, it's not because I can't articulate something, it's because I haven't thought about it long enough. So I've really tried to take the last 2 years to just really think about everything and be really mindful about my art and my practice and how I'm focusing my energy. And that's just healthier for me and the book. It's another reason why I haven't really been online this year. I graduated college in June and I had all these ideas. I was like, oh, my class schedule has been holding me back. Now that I'm done, I'm gonna be painting and sewing and writing every day, just these endless streams of creativity. But my attention and my psyche has been so fractured by everything that's happened this year. It's very difficult for me to concentrate on more than one thing at once. I cannot multitask at all anymore. When I'm writing a poem, I'm just writing a poem for that week. And I think that's fine. I think that's honestly a healthy mechanism, and I'm okay with that response and that change in myself. And I hope that you are too. I hope that you understand that there is so much pressure on you right now from the pandemic and from systems that existed before the pandemic and grew intensified. There's so much grief in the air, and it is completely normal and human if you need to take things slow, or if you can't think things as clearly, or if you're falling behind on your fake Zoom homework. I really feel for teens right now. If I was in high school during this, I would fully lose my mind, and I want to remind you, as I remind myself, that there's a plague outside and your government probably isn't doing enough to protect you, and nothing matters except keeping yourself safe and healthy and keeping the people around you as safe and healthy as you can. And if you need permission to stop feeling bad because you're not as productive or focused in whatever way because your body is processing what your mind can't hold right now, this is that permission. You don't have to feel bad about it. You can let the feeling go. So that's my spiel. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah. My camera just died as I was saying goodbye, but happy birthday to me. It's in a few days. I'm gonna spend the whole time watching Agnes Varda movies. I'm gonna be offline for a bit while I am hardcore editing grocery list poems and just turning my brain inside out. But I will be back. I miss this fun vloggy space, and I have a lot of fun stuff planned. So that's it for now. Take care of yourself, and goodbye.